had a dream, and Equals has actually been built on a series of dreams over the years, in its formative years, and I just followed those dreams, as unusual as that may sound. The personal stories are our youngest son at the age of 18 months contracted meningitis, and my experience of being in hospital with him and having a miraculous result created in me a deep sense of gratitude that I wanted to do something in return. So I think that when we have a belief in something, we have a lot of power to make it happen. Is a way of life that we hope to influence and inspire others to be purposeful about their lives and to have meaningful jobs and to be able to contribute to society in a meaningful and loving way. The spiritual foundation of gratitude created in it the desire to make a difference. And that is a lifetime commitment and a lifetime job. It doesn't stop. Something that we don't talk enough about is the equality of women and men. And so, as a deep belief of mine, it is until women are equal to men, we will not achieve world peace. When I had a thought about starting my own training company, there was a quote that I had at the side of my bed. And before I prayed that night, I read the quote. And the quote was, "The world of humanity has two wings. One is women and the other is men. Not until both wings are equally developed can the bird fly." When we don't allow or acknowledge the masculine and feminine in ourselves, we don't allow ourselves to develop our own potential, because we all have masculine and feminine in us. Scientists called it the right hemisphere, which is the female, and the left hemisphere of the brain, which is the male side. In recent studies, they have discovered that one can't work with the other. So where we used to say we are more left brain dominated or right brain dominated, they are telling us now that we can't be left brain or right brain dominant, because one side of the brain cannot function without the other, because they are wired together. So when you relate that to men and women, and we relate it to the masculine and feminine, we cannot, as a society, progress unless we are equal. And when we say equal, it is not the same. We are not the same. So we have to allow ourselves to be the feminine and the masculine. And if we acknowledge that that lives inside us, then that then means we can be the best that we can, because we all have a feminine and a masculine aspect of ourselves. When we deny that, what happens is, my opinion, my humble opinion, is that we create an autoimmune disease. And that's what's happened in society. We have an autoimmune disease because we are fighting each other. Men and women are fighting each other instead of embracing each other. It is looking at the earth as one country and mankind its citizens, regardless. So where there is a need, we look to see what we can do. And we know that education is the beginning of all things, because through education, it gives knowledge, gives wings to individuals that helps to create choices that they want for their lives. We can't change people, we can create an environment in which to change them. Equality, diversity and unity. The equality of women and men is a prerequisite to world peace. I often say that equality plus diversity equals unity. So it is like unity in diversity. So our purpose at the end is to unify people, but first to unify ourselves, because then we become whole. And that's how an education institution has to be able to transform people, not just give them knowledge to do things. They have to give them knowledge to be. And if we can be better people and we can do excellence, we can create excellence in our workplace, the world changes, doesn't it? One of the deep desires that I have is that people that come through our doors will leave having known themselves more. Because when we know ourselves, we know what our values are and we know what decisions we need to make for our life. We're a little bit more certain about ourselves. The other aspect is that when we develop the spiritual nature of ourselves, we can withstand a lot of difficulties. We can actually sail through life with a better understanding of why things happen to us and how we can combat difficulties, if we like, or embrace them. Because when we understand ourselves, it makes life a very different proposition for all of us. What we want to achieve here is a holistic education that addresses the mental, the physical, the spiritual and the emotional aspect of a human being. Because essentially we believe that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Education is about our growth and the expansion of who we are, so that we dare to dream and have the confidence to achieve that dream. Whenever we say something or make a statement, we like to back it up. See, why I love vocational education is because you can talk about it and you can write about it, but then it's like, show me how to do it. Show me. Don't tell me, show me. We talk about service being one of our fundamental principles, and I think in today's society we've lost the knowledge or understanding of what being of service to people is. And I think that when we are of service to people, because Equals provides programs, vocational programs that are service related. They are being of service to the aged, of service to children, of service to the sick and the needy, those people with disabilities or different abilities. I don't like the word disabilities. So people have different abilities. And so when we lose one ability, we actually gain another different ability. And we don't talk enough about what those different abilities are. So it's coming into an environment, and when I say that, we are not perfect. Nobody's perfect. And that's when I say that we're all students. And the environment is for staff, management, me even, and our students, where we can walk together and learn together. So when we focus and we promote the best in us, that is an education that, it becomes, we can sustain anything in the workplace. We can create new innovations, we can be creative, we can do so much to make the world a better place. Equals provides programs, vocational programs that are service related. They are being of service to the aged, of service to children, of service to the sick and the needy. They will have the opportunity to meet various professionals from different disciplines. They will have that opportunity on campus as well as in the workplace. The other thing is that when you come here, it is looking at what is my career path and painting a picture of where you start and where you finish and the choices that you have. Sometimes people may change. For example, they may come into nursing and they may want to specialise in mental health. We talk about service. To service the elderly, to service children, it's a privileged position to be in, isn't it? So how important are you to be a carer of the elderly, a carer of the children, or care of the sick? Because through those other aspects of your humanity, you are rendering a healing that we don't talk enough about. You're going to go to your classes. You're going to have an environment to practice in an assimilated environment and in the real environment. We have a beautiful new clinic for our nurses and our remedial massage therapists and our Ayurveda practitioners to practice in. And you're going to be able to practice on real people because it's a clinic for the community. So you can come here and you'll go to classes, you'll listen from people that are experts in the field. So here our educators also work in the field of their practice. We have maintained that right from the beginning of Equals, so that there is currency and there's also authenticity in education. So you can expect to be challenged also about your own beliefs, your own capacity. I think you can also, I like to say, a lot of it is up to the students, but I like to think that they will be able to discover a little bit more about themselves and have the confidence to dare to want more. And when I say that, it is by being inspired by their educators, by their peers, by their fellow students, by all, to be able to be the best that they can be and to dare to dream that they can do something that they may have thought that was not possible for them before. As a student, you come here and you will learn about yourself. It's not just us giving you the tools for your vocation. It is about you learning about yourself. For example, if you're upset about something, or you have an altercation with another student, how do you handle that? We like to think that we create an environment that assists those students to look at themselves, not always look at blaming somebody else for something that might happen to them. Does that make sense? They're latent potentialities. That means that inside us, we are all born with special gifts and talents. And they lay dormant in us, sometimes for all our lives. And so when we have somebody that creates an environment and encourage us to believe that the gifts that we haven't even used because we haven't acknowledged them. It's like these gems of inestimable value that lie hidden deep inside us. At Equals, we create an environment where we can acknowledge that those gems are there, and we give opportunity to shine them up and sparkle into the direction where you want to take them and bring them out into society. We try to help to give a vision of their future and to look at the options that career path can give them, which broadens them. And what that does is opens them up. I would like to think that people that come through our doors are exposed to more than what they can see. And as they develop themselves, they develop their dreams and their confidence to achieve them. As part of the Equals group, we say we specialise in health, education, philanthropy and human rights. So in health, we have aspects of healing, which is an integrative health centre in Lee Street in Adelaide, and we promote the preventative, preventing disease. So we talk about health and the difficulties in our health system at the moment. We don't talk enough about how to prevent disease and stay healthy. It's very much the Eastern philosophy. In addition, we have Ayurveda Village, which is in the Adelaide Hills. It is an environment of peace and healing. We've created, the whole structure is to create tranquility and a place where people can actually go and just be and focus on detoxification. And detoxification includes physical as well as emotional and spiritual. We also want to make it a place where people can go and learn. So we're working on that, of creating a space where people can actually go and have courses there and be in that environment, which is away from the city. Philanthropy, we have Equals Foundation, which was established to assist underprivileged people, in particular in developing countries, but also here in Australia. We have currently a project in Akana Ahofia in Nigeria where we've built a free school. So we have a commitment to education. Education gives us wings, we fly. And so through giving children, underprivileged children that are poverty-stricken and are brought up to believe they are nothing because they are poor and that they are stupid, to give them an opportunity of education is extraordinary. And we feel very privileged to have had that opportunity to have a presence in Nigeria and give opportunity to children And you know, who knows, one day one of those children might be a president of a country. They may do something to change the world in ways that we can't even imagine. The other area is human rights. So the very concept of equals is human rights. The equality of women and men is a human rights issue. So we have, I have been attending the United Nations for some 20 years in the area of human rights. We are registered with the United Nations and can have consultative status with them, and we attend conferences and work to make the world a better place. And so we talk about it, we try to inspire people, and then we actually do it. So health, education, philanthropy and human rights are the 4 areas we focus on as the Equals group. And it's a very enriching experience, actually. The future of Equals is higher education. It is a university. We always had the vision of being a university, but a university that is a bit different to the universities we know now. And that is going to be focusing on humanity. Because when we focus on humanity, everything falls into place. Because we teach people to care about each other, to be of service, and to understand themselves, and to be able to know where they want to go, but to focus on the advancement of humanity. The future of Equals will look at and explore different models in relation to those things that I've talked about, equality of women and men and the spiritualisation of humanity. I would like to think that the spirit of Equals is still there 100 years from now. I believe it will be, because I believe that when something starts with such a spirit, it doesn't end without it. So I would tell a student to let themselves dream and use their imagination, because their thoughts are very powerful. To be careful what they think, because thoughts and words and actions carry a vibration. And in 100 years, I'd like to think that we will know more about the matter of energy and how that affects our lives. And so when we think something, we cause a vibrational effect. And when we talk about something, there is also a vibrational effect, and the law of attraction takes place. When we act, that also creates a magnet to us. So what I would say is for them to explore more about the unseen in them, and to develop that in a way that they will understand themselves to be able to achieve. And I would always tell an Equal student to look how they can be of service to humanity, because when they are of service to humanity, they are serving themselves far more than they realise, because they will be a better them. They will create an environment that makes the world a better place, and they will achieve far greater than they can imagine. And I would always tell them to dare to dream, because nothing is impossible. If I knew what I know now when I was 20 years old, oh my God, what I wouldn't have done. If you have an opportunity, look at your crisis as an opportunity. Work hard, learn about yourself and believe in yourself. Develop a purpose and a mission for your own life, and you will fly. You will achieve anything you can imagine, you can achieve. Never let an obstacle slow you down. Embrace it as a learning experience to move further ahead. You are really special, and you need to be able to create a pathway for yourself and a commitment to achieving the end result, and we're here to support you. Never underestimate yourself, because you have gems of inestimable value that lie inside you, waiting to be shined up and exposed to the world. I am here to share your journey with you, and I'm here to support you in any way that I can. All you have to do is ask.